It's not just a betrayal, it's a full-on exposure of years of favoritism, secrecy, and financial manipulation. And this time, it's not just whispers from the fans or vague tension on screen. It's written in court records, it's been spoken aloud under oath, and it completely flips the story we were sold for over a decade. What started out as a bold experiment in plural marriage and unity has now crumbled into something almost unrecognizable, where one wife's children walk away with trust funds and future security, while the others are left blindsided, heartbroken, and pushed out of the picture. Hey friends, welcome back to TLC's Next Chapter. I'm Mara, and today, we're pulling back the curtain on the one narrative that Kody Brown and Robyn Brown never wanted fans to fully see. If you've been watching Sister Wives from the beginning, you probably remember all that talk about equal love, shared responsibilities, and being one big united family. But behind the scenes, a very different story was unfolding, and now it's finally being exposed in court. This isn't just a messy breakup or some behind-the-scenes family drama. This is about power, it's about trust, and it's about how Robyn quietly ended up with everything from emotional control to financial gain, while the other wives were left feeling used, discarded, and misled. So stick with me to the end, because we're breaking down what the show didn't say out loud, but what the footage, the court, and the fallout are now making crystal clear. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. If you like me, feel like this was never about sisterhood. It was about who held the keys behind the scenes. Let's talk about how it all started falling apart. From the very beginning of Sister Wives, Kody Brown sold us a vision. He told the world that his plural marriage wasn't just about religion, it was about love equality and building a family rooted in mutual respect. Back in those early seasons, it felt like we were watching something radical. 4 wives, 1 husband, 1 united front. They shared parenting duties, split responsibilities, and even combined their finances into one big pool to support the whole family. Kody stood at the center, insisting that he loved each wife equally, that he gave each child the same attention, and that no one would ever be left out. But watching it now, that whole narrative feels like a carefully polished illusion, because what we've come to learn, especially through the most recent seasons and through what's now been confirmed in court, is that Kody was living a completely different truth behind the cameras. It turns out that the money coming in from TLC, the show payments, the book deals, even public speaking gigs wasn't being divided fairly among the households. In fact, it was being funneled disproportionately into Robyn's home. While Christine and Janelle were scraping together money for their kids' college or worrying about paying bills, Robyn's kids had secret trust funds. And no, the other wives didn't know about it, not until much later. Go back and watch the footage, you'll see the signs were there. Christine's face when Kody questions her financial planning, Janelle's frustration when she talks about not having access to family money for a down payment, even Meri's confusion over where she fit into the financial picture. They all started to realize slowly, painfully, that the equality Kody preached never matched how he was actually living. And once those cracks started to show, everything began to unravel. Here's where things go from uncomfortable to absolutely jaw-dropping. For years, fans of Sister Wives have watched, closely picking up on the little moments that just didn't sit right. Kody always seemed more present in Robyn's home, more involved with her kids, more invested literally and emotionally. But now, thanks to court filings and confirmed financial documents, we finally have proof of what so many viewers suspected all along. Robyn's kids didn't just get more attention, they got the jackpot. We're talking about dedicated college funds, private trust accounts, long-term investments made in Robyn's children's names, while Christine, Janelle, and Meri's kids were left completely out of the loop. No savings, no accounts, no financial planning like that whatsoever. And it wasn't because there wasn't money coming in, because there was The TLC checks were solid, the book royalties were still rolling, and Kody continued doing paid public appearances, but instead of that money being distributed across the entire family, like he always claimed, it was being quietly funneled into Robyn's household. The courtroom documents paint a clear picture. There were property deeds solely in Robyn's name, investment accounts tied only to her children's social security numbers. It wasn't just favoritism, it was financial planning behind closed doors that deliberately excluded 3/4 of the family. Fans on social media aren't surprised. They've been watching this unfold for years. Robyn's house was newer, bigger, more stable. Her kids had more time with Kody. Meanwhile, the others struggled. Janelle was renting a tiny place and saving up just to get a trailer on Coyote Pass. Christine ended up moving out and starting over with almost nothing. It wasn't just the way things worked out, it was a pattern. And now, with hard evidence on the table, there's no denying who Kody was really investing in all along. When the court finally got involved, what was once whispered among fans became a full-on public reckoning. This wasn't just family drama anymore, this was legal, and the judge didn't hold back. During one of the most jaw-dropping moments in the proceedings, the judge openly stated that Kody's decision to isolate assets wasn't some passive oversight or harmless mismanagement. No, he called it calculated. That word hit hard. It suggested intent. It pointed to planning, and it painted Kody as someone who knew exactly what he was doing when he diverted money, property, and opportunities toward Robyn's side of the family while leaving everyone else behind. One of the most serious legal concerns, a breach of fiduciary responsibility. That basically means someone in a position of trust, like Kody, in a plural marriage with shared finances, is expected to act in the best interest of everyone involved, not just one wife, not just one household. But court records laid out how Kody systematically violated that duty. He didn't consult the others. He didn't share information. He made deals and moved money in secret. And then there's Coyote Pass, the land that was supposed to represent their shared future. All the wives were supposed to have a piece of it, to build homes there and finally live in unity. But guess what? Evidence now suggests Kody and Robyn may be consolidating the deeds under their names alone. What was meant to be a symbol of togetherness has now become a giant monument to favoritism and betrayal. That courtroom didn't just expose numbers, it exposed intentions. It proved that the dream of plural marriage, at least under Kody's leadership, was built on shaky ground. And in the eyes of the law, and probably in the hearts of the other wives, it's a dream that's now fully collapsed. While Christine, Janelle, and even Meri have all spoken out in various ways, through interviews, social media, and raw emotional moments on Sister Wives, one voice has stayed eerily quiet: Robyn's, and that silence is louder than any confession. For years, Robyn has positioned herself as the outsider turned victim, the wife who just wanted peace, the one who cried on camera about being misunderstood, about the family falling apart, about not being included. But now that image just doesn't sit right anymore, not with what's come out in court, not with what the fans have pieced together, and not with what we've seen unfold on the show over the years. Her tears once drew sympathy, now they draw skepticism. Because while Kody was shifting assets, creating private trusts, and setting up long-term benefits for her kids alone, Robyn didn't raise a single red flag. Not publicly, not on camera, not even when other wives started asking uncomfortable questions. And that's left a lot of people wondering, was she really in the dark, or was she just staying silent while the benefits stacked up? Fans aren't buying the innocent act anymore. Social media has exploded with comments about how misleading Robyn's behavior has been. People feel lied to. Viewers who once empathized with her now feel like they were manipulated into seeing her as the underdog, when in reality she was sitting at the top of the pyramid, quietly reaping the rewards while the rest of the family fell apart around her. It's not just about money, it's about trust. If Robyn was truly as heartbroken and confused as she claimed to be, wouldn't she have questioned Kody? Wouldn't she have fought for fairness alongside the other wives? Instead, she stayed quiet, and that silence is starting to sound a lot like complicity. Christine, Janelle, and Meri didn't just walk away from Kody. They walked away from a system that was rigged against them for years. And now that the truth is spilling out, their past words hit even harder. Christine, who was the first to leave, once said, "I don't want to be in a marriage where I'm not respected." And now she's openly admitted that learning how Robyn's children were financially set up while hers were left out made her feel validated. All those gut feelings she had that something wasn't fair, that Kody wasn't treating the families equally, were right all along. Janelle, who always came off as practical and grounded, was blindsided. She said that she thought they were all working toward the same goal, investing in Coyote Pass, together building a future as one unit. Now, knowing how much was quietly directed to just one household, she's realized how much was hidden from her. That sense of betrayal, of being used for the family image while the money went elsewhere, is crushing. And then there's Meri. For years, she stayed in a marriage that gave her nothing emotionally, but she's been increasingly open about how manipulated and discarded she felt, especially as Robyn came in and instantly became the center of Kody's world. With the financial favoritism now exposed, her story makes even more sense. These women didn't just leave because of hurt feelings. They left because the emotional neglect went hand in hand with years of financial secrecy and control. And now that it's all coming to light, they're finally being heard. Kody Brown's image has taken a nosedive, and it's not just because of what came out in court. It's the way he's acted, the things he said, and the cringe-worthy moments fans can't forget. Remember those awkward intimacy confessions during the tell-all? Kody sat there trying to justify why he was close to Robyn and distant from the others, as if emotional connection was something that just happened, not something he actively chose, and fans weren't buying it. His tone, his defensiveness, the way he laughed off serious questions, it all felt off. It didn't read as honest Kody. It read as a man desperately trying to maintain a version of himself that no longer made sense, and the failed attempts at humor, painful cameos of him dancing with Robyn, or trying to joke about plural marriage after 3 of his wives had walked away, just felt tone-deaf. Viewers weren't laughing. They were uncomfortable. It was like watching someone refuse to accept reality while the walls were closing in. More and more fans are realizing Kody's charisma. The charm that once held the family together wasn't leadership, it was control. And now that the mask is off, he doesn't look like a misunderstood patriarch. He looks like a man who built a life around a carefully managed image. And now that the truth is out, he's not sure who to be anymore. The fallout from all this is forcing TLC to rethink how they tell the sister wives' story. Sources say the network is pulling back on Kody and Robyn's screen time, shifting the spotlight toward Christine, Meri, and Janelle as they rebuild their lives outside of the plural marriage. Fans have made it clear they don't want more awkward jokes or cringeworthy moments from Kody. They want real accountability. They want the show to reflect honesty, growth, and the complicated realities these women are facing. The drama isn't just about romance or family dynamics anymore. It's about trust, fairness, and truth. So, as season 20 approaches, viewers are wondering, what is Sister Wives now? Is it a story of unity and love, or a cautionary tale about control, favoritism, and betrayal? The family brand has shifted, and fans are watching closely to see if TLC can keep it real or if this chapter will close on a note of broken promises.